Let's go ahead and call to order. And Bernie, you want to hit the record button?
I just did.
Excellent job. Right, recording. I got it. Super. So as we come to order, you got all the names you need, Bernie, for the record?
Yes.
Super. So let's see. Any comments on last month's meetings? Minutes? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve?
I make the motion.
Peggy, a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very well. So let's see. Why don't we do comments from the public? And again, we always ask to keep it short and sort of whatever issues apply to the most folks. I can't actually see who's out there, so perhaps if one of you guys could put that.
Wendy and Cindy.
Super. Wendy, why don't you lead us off?
Okay. Nothing much, but Peggy is always interested in this signage. And last month she asked about the smaller signs that are at the intersection on the way in. And at nighttime, the smaller signs are good, I think. And they should probably stay because at the intersection, the other sign is hard to read and the smaller ones seem to be good. But there is on the left-hand side, on the south side of the entrance intersection, there's an arrow pointing to buildings 5, 6, and 7, which would probably be better if it were with the other two on the right-hand side near the stop sign, because it's not a very logical place to look for those signs, but they've all been there. But it just at nighttime, I think it's better to keep those smaller white signs by the stop sign. And that's about it for me.
All right. Thank you, Wendy. Appreciate that. Cindy, any comments?
Oh, nothing from me, Scott. I'm just going to listen tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
That moves us toward management report for the public phase.
Got it. Sorry about that. I was on mute. Rick here, and I sent around the various reports. I typically would comment or answer questions on the financials. The comments I would have on the financials is if you look at the expense side of the equation, we're reasonably on budget with each category of expenses. The one that is hurting us the most, which is not new, is the insurance. And we are anticipating an insurance quote from State Farm, which was something that, if you recall, David McCarthy had orchestrated for us through an agency he was working with. And I'm anxiously awaiting that quote from them because the indication was that the amount of the insurance would be significantly below what we're paying now. And so we've asked them to quote us both the Millport properties and Canaan Parish. And hopefully we can get those numbers back in line with what we've budgeted and perhaps even below that, and get our financials back to looking the way we would like them to look. Aside from that, there aren't many, if any, surprises on the financials, so I'll open it up for questions.
Bernie and Peggy, anything in particular? I didn't have a chance to dive deep under anything, and the insurance is obviously one of the big issues, and just getting our AR, continuing to work that is the other part. I think the AR
the AR has been dropping ever so slowly, but we're down to the low 80s now in phase 2. So we've made some progress since in the last 2 months on that, and hopefully we can continue. And then on the financial side, the other comment I'll make is that we have drafts of the budget that we're going to be reviewing over the next couple of days, and we'll probably get that budget out to you, I would say, by mid next week for your review and comment. And one of the details in the financials that we've been tracking in the past, I think we're going to drop because it just makes for a confusing line item, is that we've tracked what's called the loss to lease in the budget. And the reason that we've done that is that we know that the rents that we're charging are below the tax credit maximum allowable rents. And so we've tracked the difference between what we're charging and what the tax credit max allowable is. And it's a data point that, you know, is arguable as to whether it's useful or not on an ongoing basis. So what we're going to do, what we'd like to suggest, is that we drop that tracking from the financial report, just so it doesn't look, it makes the financial reports look odd. In other words, you've got the gross potential rent, and then you have this big negative number there, and that negative number represents the loss to lease. So rather than having that in there and having it cause the financials to look odd, for 2024, we're going to do the budgets and present them without that loss to lease calculation in there. We know that it exists. If we ever wanted to calculate what it was, we could do that. But rather than track it in there and have it make the numbers look odd, we thought it would be easier to just leave it off the financial reports going forward.
Good idea.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And I think, like, if we, you know, probably only need to look at that number like twice a year, like maybe at, you know, mid-year, and then as we're trying to set budgets, and then end of year. So maybe 3 times, something like that.
Yeah, and so every year in April, the tax credit rents get adjusted. So that would be kind of the trigger to look at, you know, where we are relative to the adjustments that are taking place. And it also is something that when those adjustments take place, we can consider the percentage increase that the tax credit program is applying to the rents relative to what type of rent increase the housing authority would like to apply on an ongoing basis.
Rick, the one concern I would have is to make sure that, you know, if we're not meeting the DSC, and the requirements there, that we kind of keep that in the back of our minds as far as how much are we trailing that, where we're supposed to be. And
yeah, and that's you know, that's just a function of income and expenses,
right?
And so you know, that's easily tracked because it's just the debt service coverage, just a division of the NOI number. So yeah, that's a cell I could add to the report if you want.
Well, I mean, it's in there, but I'm just thinking that in the back of our minds, whatever we're not getting and what we could potentially be getting in rent, we want to make sure that we're trying to maintain that level of accountability to keep the DSC where it should be for the tax credits.
Yeah.
So that would be my only concern if we ever were audited for that at this point, that it could be a concern.
Understood. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
I have a comment, but it's not about the financials. We'll hold to that until later.
Okay. All right. So I see Amy, you've joined the call.
Yes, I'm back.
Do you want to, Amy was just showing a unit, so she joined a few minutes late. Do you want to quick run through your report and answer any questions folks might have?
Sure. Just looking in the door here. Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so but majority of our units, vacants, have been moved in. They're moving today between this week. I'm waiting on one, the 3-bedroom, to be checked by Section 8. And we're waiting on that. Their inspection is supposed to be on Monday. The only date they would be able to come in and do it, they're telling me, so I'm taking it. And then 134, that's going to be a transfer. The gentleman's bringing me the rest of his paperwork tomorrow. so that we could finish up on that, and he'll have the keys tomorrow. 225, they're moved in already. As of yesterday, he came. That's the only apartment I would think I'm giving a rent concession because there's still no elevator there. And we were told that the elevator won't be back up second week in November, hopefully. And this is an elderly couple that's gonna have to hire someone to help carry up those, whatever their stuff is, into that apartment. 335, that's the apartment I was just showing today. I showed it to a couple. They work in New Canaan here. So we're just waiting to get his documents together. He should have everything ready for me by Monday. He works, I believe, at the Glass House.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we're trying to get him in here as well. And then 5E, I already have the young lady, Holly Gilbert. The guys are making their way. So we're finishing up 432. So everything will be done for the inspection for Monday, making sure everything is done completely, with no hiccups in it. So we have that going straight forward because, the inspectors are getting really tedious on most littlest things. Anything triggers them with a failure. So I couldn't get them to schedule it any sooner because we didn't have the gas on. So I had the tenant put the gas on and light on already so that we can go forward. They're the ones that are coming from Norwalk Housing Authority where they're doing the demolition. And so the relocation team will be helping them with their move and stuff like that. So I already got her to set it up. We sat down and we called Eversource together and got that done. So 225, I did that also with. The 5E, that eviction took place on the 18th. So we're just making ready of that apartment. Hopefully we'll have that ready for the 15th of November. And then the last one would be 335. And we're trying to do that one for the 1st of December. So a lot of work that has to be done in there. They already started. Went in there already, started touching up the holes that need to be done there. Accounts receivable, I know you were talking about that. I do have a few tenants that are right now working with the Department of Social Services to get assistance in that. That was our 2 legal people that I have. And we're just working on getting them, situated with the different help that they're gonna get. They cannot get the United CT help until we see the mediator in court. So at the point that we do the stipulation for them is the time frame in which we will be able to get them the United CT assistance at that time. And then I could go and forward and help them with that. But everything else we're trying to get with the Alliance, Community Action, as well as the Department of Social Services and persons to persons. I heard there is another one, but it only goes through the Department of Social Services. And that's dealing with I want to say they're like the Salvation Army type of Goodwill people. They have a small fund, maybe $400 or $500, but every little bit counts when these guys are going through whatever changes they're going through. So
Amy, it's just one quick comment. I don't think you've crossed over any lines, but remember, we're still under the public side. And
okay.
not
Yeah,
that Wendy
no, I am not
do anything
mentioning
wrong.
any names.
Nope, you're
Yeah, I'm not
mentioning
mentioning any names. That's purposely why.
Yep.
But it's known that we're here to help people. So when they're talking to their friends and the tenants and stuff that are going through their issues, they know that we here at the office can assist them in getting
Great.
those things done. So I know what I'm not saying names. That's why I'm on point. And we're still working on those projects. We
Before
have
you get to that, Amy, can I bounce back and ask a question?
yeah, go
Am I
ahead.
correct that currently there are only 2 vacancies?
Yes, that is correct. There's only 2 vacancies, but they both
Okay.
have applications already.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Yep, they both
Very
have
nice.
applications.
So I have a question, Amy. How long is the relocation for from Norwalk for these folks?
It's only for this one couple right now.
Oh, okay.
But the relocation, well, that's what it was. So the relocation team there is going through a company by the name of Judy Cohen. And I am not sure, like, they've been doing this for 2 years here in Connecticut. I got that from the young lady that I'm working with. over there because I was trying to also get like anybody else that has a voucher to come on board over here as well. So, working in partnership to try to, alleviate everything that's going on with this. So they're doing the relocation. Once they relocate them, it's one day. It's gonna be their move. They're moving out of there, moving into here. But it's through the company. So the way I have to do is I have to up. So the inspection gets done. As soon as the inspection passes is when they will give them a date. But tentatively, they wanted me to give them a date that they can move in ahead of time. So I couldn't do that with this because the gas wasn't being turned on any faster than Friday.
Right.
And I
No,
can't get it on any faster. Yeah, so it's just, matter of timing. And Lou, which is the inspection section 8 inspector that I have talked to personally about, to him about it and told him, look, I'm being honest with you. I don't have the gas on. He said, it will fail. He said, make sure the gas is on and we'll go. And I'll be the one there. I'm like, okay, so he said, I can't do Monday. I can only do Tuesday. I said, okay, so then I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay.
I think,
So when they come over though, that'll be for while they're constructing this new project in Norwalk?
No, they're moved in here temporarily, permanently, I'm sorry. They
Oh,
have
okay.
vouchers. They come with a voucher. Their relocation this is just a situation for that particular family.
Okay.
But their relocation, just so you know, because there's a lot of movement going on and a lot of other companies that are doing the same thing. They're demolishing their properties that are no good and not serving their communities properly, or they're, ridden with rodents and stuff. So they're demolishing these things, redoing them over, but because they're part of a housing authority or they're part of any special program, they're getting these vouchers so they could be relocated. And since they're being forced to relocate, they're paying the full security deposit for them and they're paying their relocation.
Okay.
I think what Peggy's driving at, Amy, is that, for example, at Canaan Parish, we relocated tenants.
Yeah, no, they're not moving back.
You're right, and so she's
Yeah,
wondering if
they're
they're
not
just
moving back. They're
temporary.
staying with they'll be a fixture of our community.
That's
They'll be
good.
here.
Good.
Yeah, they'll be
Okay.
here. So
Okay,
yeah,
thanks. Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't clear. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't understand it. So with that being said, we have a few things that we keep pushing back, but it's because of the fact that we're trying to get these vacants done. We do our normal sprinkler systems, our extermination and stuff like that. We push back the numbering and striping in the in-house. It's just the numbering at this point. We've gotten like a few done, but not all of them done. And we want to start that project once we finish up with 335, that apartment. Once that apartment is finished, we have the guys going back on to doing that numbering and stuff. Also, we had the filter changes. They'll be going forward for the 16th and the 17th of November. We just got the filters in as of the 24th. So we're trying to get these apartments done and ready, the vacancy, so they'll have that time to go and just focus on what they need to do with the filters and numbering after the 15th. So we set it up that way so it wasn't interfering. We have this straightforward going with these vacancies, getting them up to par so we could rent them.
Amy, as one quick aside, look, I want everything rented as quickly as possible too. But just
That's right.
and you guys are probably looking at this. You've probably already looked at this, but the painting of the lines is likely weather dependent, and so just making sure we don't accidentally preclude us from getting that done until spring.
Yeah, no, we're trying to get that done as soon as possible.
I think you said, Amy, all the lines are done, right? It's just the numbers.
Yeah, all the lines, it's just the numbers.
Right.
It's just the
Okay.
numbering. Yeah. And I said, we only did like, maybe we got up to like 10 apartments that with the numberings on them, 10 parking spots. So we're still
I'm in good shape.
processing.
Nope, you
Yeah,
guys
we're-
are on top of it as I thought you would be, and that's great. I can't help but bring it up if it comes to me. So thank you. Good job.
No, it's okay. No problem.
Question,
Thank you.
Amy, on the parking numbers,
Mhm.
is there a need to have people park elsewhere during that period of time, or can they just be alerted that it's being done?
Yeah, we're just gonna be alerting y'all to do it because most cars are not that far parked out. They pull their car more
Okay.
in, so it's not affecting them.
No, that's easy.
Yeah, it's
I have
easy.
to
and
comment
they're
that
in and out.
Gunnar did a great job with everybody that was there. As long as they park properly, he did it quickly.
Yeah, yep. It wasn't a matter of like really having everybody relocate or anything like that. Most of the time that it was getting done, it was
Any
during the day.
contractor would have not done it as well as he did.
Yes, he did a wonderful job. I'm very happy with him. Okay, so we're continuing doing all the recertification stuff and continuations. I've been meeting with a lot of the tenants. We also had the only other situation that I see that's a problem right at this moment is the few teens that we have. I finally got Nicole back. She was here today, and we're trying to set up an appointment for next week, Wednesday, with these 4 parents, so that we could situate these teens running rampant on our property. They seem to think that because they're 14, 15 years old, that they're allowed to be outside unattended. Although that's part of what it does say, but that doesn't mean they're allowed to hang out on the property because we do not have a playground for them to be playing in. And that's basic. Too many complaints have came into the police department on this. And, we have 2 elderly frail tenants that feel they're being intimidated. And they don't know how to deal with that right this minute. So they're constantly calling the cops. And I have reassured them, constantly knocking on their door, ensuring that I have gotten their email and spoken to them. And I'm speaking to the families as I'm getting the emails as well. And they're trying to do their best. But this one family is really wreaking havoc on me. And I spoke with Nicole today because I had spoken with her at the meeting. Chandrita had a nice reunion for her community room, and Peggy was there with us. And I was speaking to, Nicole over there about it. And she said, no, I'll be there tomorrow. So she's, came today to see me and stuff. So we got it down and narrowing it down to what we need to do. And going forward, if this is going to continue to happen, because it's one of the children is in care of the grandparent. So we will have it be where DCF is going to get involved. Because it shouldn't be, this is the one young lady that's causing the most havoc of it all doesn't even live here or is not listed on the lease. So, and she will not be listed on the lease just simply because of the situation and what's been going on for the past 6 months. So we're gonna go forward. And she even said, when we speak to them, we're gonna make it very clear that they're out past a certain time or they're wreaking any havoc and we get any more complaints, that we will be addressing it with DCF and her social worker. Because she apparently has a social worker. And school also, lady from the liaison from the schools, she was there at the meeting also for the community room, and we spoke with her too. I was able to speak with her and see if she's able to do anything. And she said she will be getting back to me next week because she's going to get the information from me for the social worker that she's attached to that child. So we will be working on fixing that situation as well. So we don't have nobody having any more problems with that. Generator installation, I don't know where we're at. Can you help me, Bernie?
Well, waiting for the gas. I know, and that's keeping it up, holding it up.
Okay.
Unless there's something I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know anything else. All I know is they were figuring out the gas meters and the valves that they would be using. That was the last I knew of it. I haven't heard anything else. And then
Is it
pretty much.
Is it Eversource that's holding it up as they've done in the past?
I don't know. I will ask Niall. I'll have to speak with Niall and see where he's at with that also tomorrow. I'll give him a holler.
Amy, I'll send him an email right now. You don't have to bother.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah, so yeah, basically everything else is going as smooth as I can make it go. I do have the elevator out in 35, but we're working with that, and the tenants have been very patient with this. It's been out for quite some time. So hopefully the second week in November, I'm gonna retouch base with Sean on that and make sure that, it's still in transit to him. So that's with that. I know we've been getting the request for proposals for the snow removal. I would suggest let's stay where we're at. We did well with them last year. We should just go forward this year. I haven't had no problems since I've been here with them. Anytime I've asked them for something, they're more than willing and welcoming to do so. So I don't know if we need any extras because the numbers are not changing. The numbers are not
Yeah,
going
I
any
have
higher.
that, I have those proposals. There's just a
Okay.
couple things that they wrote into the proposal that was new that I need to
Address. Okay.
work out with them, yeah.
Okay, great. We also going to try to do gutter covers for the mills, the back of building 61 as well, because that's where we have a lot of trees and stuff. So we do have a ladder now for this. So, once I have Gunner finishing up certain things, I'm going to have him get those measurements for us so we could get those gutters covered and stuff. Everything else, otherwise, normal stuff, normal run through of office supplies and things we need. But other than that, we're hanging in there, trying to make it work.
Doing a good job of
Thank
hanging.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Amy,
Anything
you
else?
do a great job. Good job,
Oh,
Amy.
Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
for
I
all the work
appreciate that.
that you're doing with the kids, because what people don't know is that they also run through the halls here, yelling and screaming, in building
Yeah.
36.
No,
as you
no,
know.
it's not just, yeah, it's not
And
just.
it's very intimidating. I mean, I'm 65, I've, cancer and chemo. And for these kids, I mean, I asked them to not do that, and they just glare at me. It's very scary. I feel very intimidated. Thank you for everything you're doing. I really appreciate it.
No, no problem, no problem. I want everybody to feel they're in a safe space, and that's what it's about. It's about the community. And these kids need to understand that, when they're living in this community, they have to show for their community as well. So that's why we have to bring in, those restrictive measures on them. So this way we can enforce things the proper way.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
Mm-hmm. No problem. Anybody else have any questions for me?
I have a question,
Well,
Amy. What is
yeah.
the update on having that meetings concerning the trash disposal?
I was supposed to speak with her last week, called her, no answer. I'm going to follow up with her. I could do that as well tomorrow. I put it on my list right here of things I wanted to get
Yeah,
done
what about
this
the
coming
consultant
week.
that we met with that time that the
Yeah,
town
so the
uses?
the consultant goes through that particular group. It's hired through that group. It's not by us. We didn't pay
I
anything
know, I
for it.
know.
Yeah, so it was through that group, that
But
organization. Yeah.
he
So we're
offered to
gonna
help.
Yeah, so he offered to help, and that's what was the whole thing. I was trying to get the evening, like a Monday night or Tuesday night or Tuesday day, so we could get other tenants that are in during the day. It's just been hard because they were out on vacation, and then someone was out sick, and it's like every time we try to get it done, it wasn't happening. So let me see what I can get done within the next 2 weeks to see where we could get this going. Because
Great.
we haven't had no real problems with the garbage since we added that extra day. But, making sure that it keeps consistent and everybody's held to it will make everybody sign off on that trash contract and stuff so that they know that they're responsible to take, large bulk items to the transfer station and make sure that they're not throwing the items here or leaving them out here. So that'll be helpful for future, but we've been doing very well with the garbage. I've had no more complaints on the garbage, even with the holiday, and we have holidays coming. So hopefully we won't have any more of those type of complaints with adding that extra day.
Okay.
Anything else, anybody?
Hi, it's Annie from
Hey.
Westmount.
Hi, Annie.
I just wanted to add one other item just so that you guys are informed. Millport Phase 2 back a few months ago had Spectrum doing our tax credit compliance. They checked out the property, they did files, and so on. We got the final report that is cleared, no issues, and we'll see them in 3 years. So that's closed.
Great.
Yay.
Good job, guys.
Yay.
Thank you.
I am so happy.
Yeah.
See you in 3 years. No worries.
Yeah. So just wanted to relay that good news.
That's awesome.
It is good news.
All right.
Very good news.
Yeah.
Excuse me, this is Wendy. From Amy, do you have the dates, or we'll be sending out the dates for the bug folks?
Oh, yeah, they're coming out on November 2nd and November 3rd. I thought I already posted the buildings with that. That's already been
No.
done. Yeah, I did. Okay,
So
so on the
that's
3rd,
tomorrow.
they'll
Well,
be
I
coming.
didn't get it.
Yeah, so on the 3rd, they should, well, we switched it around. It was supposed to be the Mills was the second date for the 2nd, and then the Mills changed to the 3rd instead. So Mills will be done on November 3rd.
Okay.
And then
not-
for Cindy, phase 1 and phase 2 is gonna be done on November 2nd. For the extermination.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
because I
you.
posted the buildings already, so thank you, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I don't think Mill got any
Yeah, we get-
notifications.
Yeah, I put flyers, that's what I did, but I could redo it
Okay.
again for you too, no problem.
Okay, well, as long as,
You could do a quick call, Max, if you want, Amy, to save you
Yeah,
some
that's what
time.
that's what I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna wind up doing,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm glad I
Thanks.
asked.
Yeah.
And do you know what time of day or?
You know, that's the whole day for them with the, because they have to do the whole complex. They're doing the whole mills at one day. So they're here from
Okay.
9 until 4.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Amy, thank you very much. Great job. We appreciate it.
No worries, thank you.
All right, that concludes the management report portion of the program.
I don't know what happened to Scott.
Yeah, he dropped off.
Oh, yeah, he left the room. He came back. Okay.
So what was next on the agenda then? Let's see.
There's Scott.
Sorry,
I guess
guys,
he
I
brought-
lost that over in near Woodway.
Oh. Dead zone. So I guess the unfinished business, so that would still be the generators. Continuing to work on the lighting. And looking at lighting for the signage and also the interior signage. I've yet to find someone, I was hoping to find maybe a student in the high school that's taking the architecture drafting course that could work with me on doing the plans interior. But I don't think nobody has stepped up, so I may still ask the architecture teacher up there if they can enlist a kid doing it.
What kind
to
of
help me
plans
do
are you
it.
talking about, Peggy?
I'm
Plans for what?
doing section plans for each of the buildings as far as which units are on which floors. So when the
Uh-huh.
emergency personnel come in, they know
That
which
is a great
units are on which
idea.
floor and post
Great
those in the
idea.
stairwells. But so it's a fairly easy, but it's I just thought it'd be great to get one of the kids involved instead of having to have an architect do it. So
We actually do have that already on the plans, not the site plan, but there is a plan for each building, the architectural plans, which I gave to
Right.
Westmount when they started.
Right.
And on each of them, it shows where in each building where the units are located.
right, we're just looking really at when they come in, emergency people can look and know which numbers are on which floor and
Right, so we can make a list from that and then supply it to them.
exactly, that's what I plan to do. But
Good.
I just have to find somebody to draft it up. That's all. And the generators, and I guess and the elevator, you said middle of November, it's supposed to be, parts are supposed to be in.
Yeah, second week.
Yes, second week.
Well, that's good. It's better than January. It was January, right?
Oh my God, please.
It'll
don't
be
say-
there. We'll know about it when it's there.
Oh, all right. No more. We're not talking about that. I'm not trying to have that. Sorry.
No way. All right. Any new business?
No business, new business I know of. Anyone have any new business?
Oh. No new business for me.
Oh, how has the move been
Scott,
for
you're muted. Scott, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Using the royal we, I think that Westmount's managing that we're managing to get place rented. We're turning apartments around, working on the AR, which is great, and we're slowly making it through the list of the open items.
Yes, sir.
Rick, how, with the move of the maintenance guys over to Canaan Parish,
Oh, yeah.
you had, you have sort of mentioned off and on a list of things that you would like to have to be, I guess, equipment to be shared, but for use between the two sites.
Mhm.
Just wondering how that is going and what that list might look like right now.
Yeah, so we've purchased things like shelving and cabinetry and other relatively small ticket
Storage, yeah.
items for the space over there for them to organize materials and supplies. And we're purchasing some an IKEA desk and a couple of desk chairs, and a file cabinet, all those things which are really small ticket items, so I don't really put your attention onto them, but we're effectively finishing outfitting that space for them. And then as far as tools are concerned, I mean, we really have the tools that we need, any hand tools that are additional to what we have already. We'll just get in due course as the need arises. The big ticket item that we were doing some research on and wanted to discuss, but it's really it's probably something that should be considered across Millport and Canaan Parish, is the purchase of a pickup truck. And the idea would be that a pickup truck would allow the team and materials to be mobile between the two sites, as well as them to be going out to purchase materials and having the space to do that. But I was kind of waiting for the final developer fee payment on Canaan Parish, which we were supplying them some information yesterday on that to get that payment initiated. And once that hits the accounts of the two entities, I thought that would be the time to strike, so to speak, to request the monies for a vehicle for the team.
Are you thinking one that would be, I guess we have lawn service, right? Are you one like that would be big enough to carry equipment? Or
Well,
just
we would probably just
supplies?
get a 2-door 8-foot bed pickup truck, which if we needed to carry equipment in the back, we easily could with a ramp. But right now, the initial plan, as you might recall, was to do lawn mowing in-house. But we've been able to get it inexpensively enough that the budget that we set aside for the spring and fall cleaning, we were able to buy that and the mowing within our budget. So for as long as we're able to do that, I figured it makes sense to do that and not take the staff's time with that, but rather have them on things like unit turnovers and line striping and all that, those other types of projects that we could do. So unless and until it gets to be more expensive for us to have a contractor do it, I figured we might as well do that and not purchase the lawn equipment that we were going to purchase.
Good idea.
Scott, you got any good leads on a good used pickup truck?
I suppose it's easier now than it was a year ago, but it's still
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm just wondering whether, maybe any of your contractor buddies that are looking to sell one that's in good shape. As long as it's red, I think the Lannies will have one. They're always red, those guys.
Well, I mean, obviously, we'll all keep our eyes or ears open, and we'll see if we can if we hear anything. Okay.
All right.
Anything else on anyone's mind? Are we still in open session? We move to closed.
Yes, we are.
We're in open, yeah.
So anything else for open session or? All right, then do we have a motion to go to executive session?
Make the motion. Got 3 motions, so.
Peggy second. Y'all vote in favor? All right. So thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank